if you see the size and the height of a fir tree or a big yellow pine tree, you realize that tree's been in the ground and been growing for decades and decades and decades. The Bell legacy in Wyatt Bell Company is that we're into our 10th decade. We're into 100 years. And so we, in some ways, represent an evergreen. We've been there. Through the years, there's been many trials, nothing any greater than, losing my son, who was the 4th generation. So in the midst of it, it's like you've taken a lightning hit. The tree's been hit, but it survives. It continues to stand. And I think from my grandfather, I know it was in my father, that when an issue hit, you dealt with it. You address it head on. And I think in some ways that's how an evergreen, it just stands. And whatever hits it, it just perseveres. We don't veer off, we just stand. And I put faith at the foundation of that. Well, we've got some photographs of my family and legacy. And when I began to look, I think one of the regrets I have is that we didn't take enough pictures. But the first one is of the founder, my grandfather, Wyatt Bell. He was a big man, big personality, exceptionally bright to build and start what he did with Wyatt Bell Company. Second generation, this was my father, Bob Bell, who I worked with for 30 years, who instilled in me a lot of the principles and the traits that have driven my life and me as a businessman for all of my years. Well, this is an old picture of me, third generation, Robert Bow. This is my brother-in-law, Steve Wilson, who worked with me in the business for 30 years. And this is my son, Chris. We actually worked some as a kid like we all did on the lumber yard, but once he got out of college, he came back and learned it from the ground up and excelled. The way he managed the company, grew the company, the personnel that he put in place, all just positives. So that as we sit here in 2024, Wyatt Bell Company is a lean, well-managed, functioning company with great personnel. My wife, Carol, has been my greatest supporter, just the prayer and the love that she's given me. I can't say enough about Shelley. Chris found a great mate. She's been an enormous support to him through the years. And Chris's son, Sam, my grandson, is in the process of learning the business and actually would be 5th generation.
That is my dad. He probably is around my age in that picture, 25, 26. He taught me a lot about lumber, but he taught me a lot about life as well. He was my best friend, really. Super competitive, caring, loving, funny. He's just a great guy, great dad, for sure.
The lumber that we sell all comes from evergreen forest. It comes from either yellow pine, Doug fir, hem fir, or spruce. And so it's evergreen tree. It's been in the earth for a long, long time, and it's solid, it's immovable, it's strong, and it can withstand any kind of condition that hits it. The legacy from my grandfather to my father, down through me and through Chris, is honesty, integrity, fairness, and then I say at the bottom, because it's the foundation, is faith. Faith in God, knowing that He loves me, that He cares for me. You just depend on Him for everything we do. There is a Creator, and He's benevolent, and He's good. In fact, the Scriptures itself says that God is love. So if that revelation gets into you and you know that you are loved by your Creator, and that everything that happens to you, the trials, the tribulations, the victories, the good, all comes out of His hand, and that He, in the end, wants nothing but good for you, I can rest in that. And I know that. And it's something that's not here. It's something that's deep in the heart. Over the years, as I've seen the Bell family and seen Wyatt Bell persevere in some ways under trials, but I've seen also tremendous blessings. It doesn't matter what kind of trial hits, you just learn to stand. And the foundation of that are the roots that go deep. Integrity, honesty, the very cornerstone is faith. So I view that much like an evergreen. It stands, it perseveres, it stays.